For first-time steroid cycles, I am really big on recommending just 1 cc of testosterone. There's many kinds of testosterone to do it, and what you need to remember is testosterone is always the same. It's the ester that is attached to these things that tell you how long it's going to be in your body for. They create a depot or a depot, and what happens is your body cleaves apart this ester, and it's time released over X amount of days. So I prefer recommending the NNT for just about everyone because of simplicity. And NNT happens to be the best testosterone in terms of pain and breakdown rate, for me at least. And most people would agree because these things don't need a solvent. As you get into other forms or other esters, they start to hurt, frequency changes, and NNT happens to be the one most popular by most people as well. So when doing a first steroid cycle, using testosterone and NNT, your dosing schedule can be a number of ways. The more frequent you do an injection, your peak levels of testosterone in your blood plasma is going to do this and stay kind of constant. What happens when you only do, say, 1 injection every 14 days, because these half-lives still say anywhere between 9 to 15 days. You read many different conflicting articles on this. So let's just say 12 days. But over 12 days, you might get a peak, especially in a glute shot, a peak after about 5-7 days, it drops back down. When this happens, your body's estrogen is doing the same thing, and that increases side effects. The more stable your testosterone is in your body, or hormones for that matter, the less side effects you're going to get. So the more frequent you can dose your testosterone, the better and less side effects you're going to get. So for an example, one way of doing this is doing testosterone 1 ml on a Monday. And this could be between 200 to 300 milligrams. So 250 is usually your go-to. And you would do this every Monday. And you would do this for 8 to 12 weeks. The other way is doing a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you would split that into 0.3 on an injection. Some people use insulin needles for this reason because they don't like using bigger or longer needles. They have a fear of it. It's an easy way to kind of ease into it. But I do recommend when doing any injectable steroid, the deeper into the muscle, the better. Starting with 1 inch is better for absorption, 1 1/4 up to 1 1/2 for a glute injection. The reason I recommend this is because there's more blood, and the breakdown will be, not only will it be a little bit faster and you get more milligrams out of it, but at the same time, when you're using an insulin needle, not all of it goes inside the muscle. Even when you say, oh, well, I push down deeper, you're only pushing on the skin, which is pushing everything else with it. You still have the fat layer. You still have subcutaneous water. So what happens is it kind of seeps through into your subcutaneous layer. And when this happens, you kind of get an erratic level in your blood. And this can last 30 days, sometimes 40, depending on the person. So when doing it, try and do it the same way. You can go Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 0.3. That would still be your 200 to 300 mark. Or you can do it once a week. You can do it Mondays and Fridays. And then you would do 0.5 cc's Monday, Friday. This would be the same milligrams no matter what, but with less side effects. You could, like doctors would prescribe, every 10, sometimes 30 days, which gives more side effects. But 10 to 15 days, they might do a shot. But remember, you're going to get that peak, and then it's going to drop back down, giving more side effects. So beginner steroid cycle, to wrap this up, 1 cc of testosterone. And I say this because when you go and you're going to do another cycle, just about everyone will, you will know your results from 1 cc of testosterone. If you went full throttle and started adding anabolics, 500 milligrams of testosterone, you're not going to know your side effects. You're not going to know what's building muscle, what's burning fat. So when you can judge, 250 milligrams gave me these side effects. I got these mental effects. The strength was, my strength was X amount this week, next week. You can be fairly good at judging your progress levels on it. So then your next cycle, it leaves so much room. You can add another ml of tests. You can do so many other things. But then you'll know when you add this compound, if you start getting a side effect, it wasn't from the testosterone. It was from adding the anabolic, whether it was the anabolic itself or the combination of the two. Now you'll start to figure out the best steroids that work for your body, as opposed to just reading, take these two together and because that's what everybody says, but they're not getting the same side effect as you are, and you would never know which drug was causing that.